Welcome to Starship TV. Today's topic is the drive-in theater. We'll cover the history and memories of the drive-in. The history of drive-in movie theaters began on June 6, 1933, when Richard Hollingshead Jr. opened the first patented drive-in theater in Pennsauken Township, New Jersey. He named it Park-In Theaters. Hollingshead envisioned a comfortable movie-watching experience for families, especially those with young children or people who found traditional theater seating uncomfortable, like his mother. The first showing was the British comedy Wives Beware. Admission cost 25 cents per car plus 25 cents per person. The screen measured 40 by 50 feet, and the theater could accommodate approximately 400 cars. Initially, sound was transmitted through speakers mounted on the screen, which presented challenges for clear audio throughout the venue. This was later improved with the introduction of individual in-car speakers. Drive-in theaters gained significant popularity in the 1940s and 1950s. Coinciding with increased car ownership and suburban growth following World War II. They became social hubs, offering an affordable and private way for families and teenagers to enjoy movies. By their peak in the 1950s and 1960s, there were over 4,000 drive-in theaters across the United States, many located in rural areas where land was less expensive. These theaters often offered additional amenities like playgrounds and concession stands, creating a unique entertainment experience. However, the popularity of drive-in theaters began to decline due to several factors. The oil crisis of the 1970s led to smaller, less comfortable cars. The rise of VCRs in the 1980s offered the convenience of watching movies at home. Increasing land values made it more profitable for owners to sell their drive-in properties for commercial development like malls. Furthermore, the transition to digital projection in the early 2000s presented a significant cost barrier for many independent drive-in owners. Despite the decline, a nostalgic appreciation for drive-in theaters has led to a resurgence in recent years. While the number of drive-ins is significantly lower than their peak, they continue to operate in various states, with Ohio, New York, and Pennsylvania having some of the highest numbers remaining. Modern drive-ins often show current films and utilize updated technology like digital projectors and FM radio sound transmission. Here are some great memories people often recall from their experiences at drive-in movie theaters. The excitement of loading up the car with blankets, pillows, and snacks, feeling like a special family outing. Kids running around and playing in the open space before the movie started, sometimes on a playground right at the drive-in. The unique experience of watching a movie under the stars, with the night sky as a backdrop. Trying to perfectly position the car to get the best view of the big screen. The crackly sound from the individual speaker that hung in the car window, and the occasional struggle to get it to work just right. Sharing popcorn, candy, and other treats from the concession stand. The privacy the car offered, allowing for whispered conversations and cozy snuggling during the movie. Honking the car horn instead of clapping at the end of a particularly good scene. The novelty of watching a double feature and sometimes falling asleep in the car during the second movie. First dates and romantic evenings spent watching a movie in the privacy of a car. The feeling of a community gathering, even though everyone was in their own vehicle. Seeing the screen light up as dusk turned to night, creating a magical atmosphere. The smell of popcorn wafting through the air. The anticipation of the coming attractions and the main feature. The affordability of it all, especially for families. The freedom to talk or make noise without disturbing others in a traditional theater setting. The fun of tuning the car radio to the movie's audio when in-car speakers were replaced. The occasional interruption of fireflies or the distant sound of crickets, adding to the outdoor ambiance. The bittersweet feeling as the movie ended and the credits rolled, signaling the end of a special night. The slow drive home, often with sleepy passengers, reminiscing about the movie. These memories are why people loved the drive-in. It was such an integral part. The skeletal remains of old abandoned drive-in theaters stand as poignant reminders of a bygone era of American entertainment. Once vibrant hubs of community and cinematic magic, many of these locations now suffer from significant neglect, succumbing to the relentless forces of nature and the passage of time. Overgrown vegetation, including weeds, vines, and even small trees, often reclaims the land, obscuring the once carefully manicured grounds. The massive screens, which once held the gaze of hundreds of eager viewers, now stand as rusted, decaying frames, sometimes partially collapsed or completely toppled. Paint peels and fades, revealing the bare bones of their construction. The projection booths, once the nerve centers of these outdoor cinemas, are frequently left exposed to the elements. Roofs cave in, windows shatter, and the sophisticated equipment that once brought stories to life is either vandalized, scavenged, or simply rots away. Inside, dust and debris accumulate, and the remnants of forgotten movie reels and concession supplies lie scattered. The rows upon rows of speaker posts, once offering individual audio to each vehicle, now stand crooked or lie broken on the ground, their wiring frayed and useless. The concession stands and restrooms, once bustling with activity, become dilapidated structures, their windows boarded up and their interiors ravaged by time and vandalism. Abandoned cars, often stripped of parts and covered in rust, can sometimes be found scattered across the former viewing areas, adding to the desolate atmosphere. The once brightly lit marquees advertising the latest Hollywood hits are now blank, faded, or even partially destroyed, their letters missing or broken. This neglect is often a consequence of economic shifts and changing entertainment preferences. As land values increased, especially in growing suburban areas, the large plots occupied by drive-ins became more valuable for commercial or residential development. The rise of home video and multiplex theaters further diminished the profitability of drive-ins, leading to closures and subsequent abandonment. The cost of maintaining these large properties, coupled with the expense of transitioning to digital projection, proved insurmountable for many independent owners. Once the theaters closed, the lack of upkeep quickly led to their deterioration. The visual impact of these neglected drive-ins is often stark and melancholic. They serve as a tangible link to a nostalgic past, evoking memories of family outings, first dates, and the unique charm of watching movies under the stars. Their decay is a reminder of the ephemeral nature of entertainment trends, and the constant evolution of how we choose to spend our leisure time. While some abandoned drive-ins have found new purposes, many continue their slow decline, fading into the landscape as ghostly relics of a bygone era, part of their lives. You're watching Starship TV. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for